What's happening, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about my experience so far with the EcoFlow smart home panel, which I installed by myself about a week ago. Looking at the installation manual, you can see that it must be installed by a professional electrician who should be familiar with and not limited to National Electric Codes, National Fire Protection Association codes, electrical wiring practices, and experience working with home electrical systems. Any accident, damage, or personal injury caused by incorrect installation is solely responsible by the user. All right. Now this shows the setup, and I wired mine to work in split phase setup, which means I have circuits 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 on one phase in the main panel, and then the other circuits on the other phase. Although currently I am operating with 2 Delta Pros, I have not pulled the switching connector because I don't have any 240 volt circuits backed up by the smart home panel, so I don't need to be running in that split phase setup mode. But you can see the number of conductors needed. I kind of looked at what I had, and it ended up being 12 10 gauge conductors, 12 12 gauge conductors, and then I ran a 10 gauge ground for a total of 25 conductors running between the two, the home panel and the main panel. So this is the way I've got my smart home panel set up. You can see I've got the main wiring running through my attic out to the main panel. I've also got some solar cables coming in through the attic, and then I'm connected to 2 Delta Pros that I've got hanging out over here on the racks. I don't want to show you the mess of wires inside that Cantex box. There's quite a bit going on in there. About 25 wires coming in, passing through that box and going to the smart home panel. I've got the EcoFlows, both of them are charging off the solar panels. I've got about 543 watts coming in on this one. It's got 4 panels outside that I'll show you, and then let's see, this one, 565 watts coming in. The one thing I learned that I didn't realize up front was that when you're charging DC directly from solar panels, you cannot set the charge limit. So it'll just charge up to 100% as long as there's solar coming in. You can't stop it. So I'm working on a solution that will allow me to turn off DC charging even if it's still connected. So you can see right now I'm just charging. This is the connector that came with the Delta Pro, hooked directly to the solar panels. This is a solution that I'm putting together. I'll make another video on that once I get that fully functional. But currently I am able to use a separate app to set a schedule for when this Delta Pro is charging and not charging. So I'm going to show you my solar setup. All the panels on my roof are directly connected into the house. They're end-phase microinverters. But then I've got 8 panels sitting on my patio cover currently that are wired directly to the Delta Pros. Can't really see from here, but I'll kind of walk under. Just got 4 panels wired in series going to each Delta Pro. So there's 4 there, and then another 4 over here. There are these Trina Solar 240 watt, you know, Craigslist specials, but they seem to be working pretty well. And I got all the wiring kind of coming together, passes around the side of the house and just in through the attic and directly over to where I've got those Delta Pros sitting. So fishing those 25 conductors from the main panel through this 1.5-inch conduit through the attic down into the garage was definitely a challenge. And you can see I ran separately just those solar cables through a different hole through the attic.